right, let's have a look at the first type of entries, which are the conservative entries. So this kind of entry is gonna provide you with a little bit more confirmation, okay? And this is actually the best time to put to use the candlestick formations, especially if you love using them, all right? So the conservative entries will consist of a MSS formation and a break and retest, because once actually the market shifts, you have a break and then potentially you're gonna look for that retest, okay? And then the kind of little detail that differentiates this from the aggressive entries is that you're gonna wait for a candle formation that you can base your entry on. And you're gonna be looking for this, for the MSS, for the BRS, and for the candle formation on your entry time frame. Okay, so you should already have determined your directional, your middle, and your entry time frame. So right now we have gotten onto our entry time frames, okay, where we're gonna be looking for to just take the trade, to just execute, okay? So the conservative entry might not always provide you with an entry criteria. Okay, so this is important to know because you will be looking for a confirmation candle on the retest of that broken structure. Okay, so if the market, for example, sometimes is going to create a big bearish engulfing candle, let me just illustrate that example because I think it's pretty important as I speak to actually give you some examples. We have a lot of examples following, okay, but let's say we have, for example, this push to the downside. Then we have MSS formation, and this is your broken structure, okay? So usually we would be looking for an entry in that zone because this is the last lower high broken, and we're gonna be looking for a retest of it. But sometimes the market is gonna print a strong bearish engulfing candle like this. So you cannot base an entry on this one. And then on the next candle, you're gonna have something like this, an explosion. And then you're, oh man, I missed the trade. Okay, so this is a little slight detail that you can, of course, encounter into your backtesting sessions and once you start trading live. Okay, so this kind of entry criteria could be executed in two ways. You can either use an instant execution after the candle close, or you can use a stop order in order to really ensure that momentum is kicking in. And I'm gonna show you examples of that, no worries. The biggest advantage of this entry is that it gives you a little bit more confirmation that the broken structure that we're looking for a retest is holding, and a potential lower high for shorts or a higher low for longs is created, okay, and it's holding on your entry time frame, of course. So your stop loss should always be below the previous structure. So that depends on the example because there could be a lot of variables, but always try to place your stop loss below the previous structure as safe as possible. And if you use stop orders, then you can actually place it even tighter. And I'm going to show you examples because then you expect the higher low to be created. So you actually set it just below, or of course above the lower high or below the higher low. So let's jump into some examples right now. All right. I really hope everything is clear right there. Just observe this, just kind of digest it. Okay. But I believe the examples are going to make everything clear. So let's have a look at the first one. Here's the first one. So right there we have an MSS formation, right? So we're trading to the upside. The market creates a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low right there. We create a higher high, but then all of a sudden we change structure to the downside and we break the structure. Again, is the market perfect? No, it's not. So is it going to be a perfect retest of this area? Nope. And this is why I never give you perfect examples, but I kind of try to open your mind that you're never going to have that perfect break, perfect retest with the perfect candlestick formations and with a perfect entry. Okay, so when looking for conservative entries on that pullback for a potential lower high, this is on our entry time frame. Remember, right there we speak only about the 15-minute, if that is your entry time frame, maybe the hourly, but this is your entry time frame. So if you're asking yourself on what time frame we look for this, entry time frame again. And right there we wait for candle confirmation, and we can either place a sell stop below, or we can just enter after the candle confirmation, and stop loss should always be above the structure, which is this one. Okay, let's have a look at the example. Push, pullback, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high was created, and then we broke structure to the downside. And this is the candle that actually closed below. So what we're looking for a pullback. We have that pullback. So is this really a confirmation? Not really. But then we have this bearish engulfing candle. So this is a nice bearish engulf. And we enter with an instant execution right there. So where is the stop loss? Above the structure. And you can see the market continuing to go down. Even if you secure break even, which you should not, because this is just the push. So you expect the pullback to happen. And it can happen anywhere in between, like this level, because this right now it's our major lower high. This one right there. And yeah, the low. So we had the pullback, and then the market eventually flushed to take profit. So this is our first example, very simple MSS formation, pullback, lower high formation, confirmation with a bearish engulfing candle.